Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Check out the link below, fool.com/thesmattering, to get access to the 10 best stocks to buy right now. Let's just say 2023 turns out to be a bull market for stocks. We don't know if that's going to be the case. It's been a tough run for the past year. We know there's a lot of concerns with the economy, rising interest rates, inflation, supply chain pressure still affecting so many businesses. But let's just say things improve, and this turns out to be a great year for stocks. I don't know about you guys, but there's a few stocks out there that I absolutely want to make sure that I have in my portfolio. I'm Jason Hall. This is The Smattering. We're going to talk about one of those right now. I got Jeff Santoro here with me. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jason. I'm with you on this one. I think Disney is absolutely a stock to own if we do end up having a bull run in 2023.
Yeah, it's crazy. You look at Disney, and this is a company whose stock, it's been a tough multi-year period. The stock's still down at some of the lowest levels we've seen in multiple years. There was a lot of optimism when Disney Plus was announced about its streaming strategy. There's been a lot of optimism about the recovery of its theme parks business, kind of the post-COVID era. But we've seen a lot of turmoil as well. We saw turmoil with employees. Bob Chapek, who replaced Bob Iger as CEO when Iger retired, has now been replaced by Bob Iger. Activist investors involved. There's a new chairperson of the board, and they're really focusing on trying to get some sort of a long-term plan in place for their leadership while also trying to deal with the operational issues with their business. I think eventually they will, Jeff, because this is one of those powerful companies that has some of the most valuable moats in the world. You think about their intellectual property when it comes to TV, movies, even things like video games, the licensing power for toys. If there's a Disney logo on something, Star Wars or Marvel or Pixar or whatever it is, people are going to pay a premium for it. And that's just amazing in terms of positioning the company.
When we go through a bear market like we have and a company like Disney gets hit, it's really easy to forget how strong their brand is and how strong their intellectual property is. And if you take a step back and just think about long-term trend investing, I can't really imagine a world where 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, more people aren't going to Disney parks. And I also can't imagine a world 3, 4, 5 years from now where Disney Plus isn't still putting out quality content that people are clamoring for within the Star Wars universe, within the Marvel universe, and all of the other IP that they own. So that's a good thing for investors to remember when you go through a hard time in the market, because we all thought about those things when we were going through the bull market.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Disney Plus and the streaming. Business is going through a transitionary period, right? Whereas people are moving away from linear TV, cable, and moving towards over-the-top streaming and that sort of stuff. And it's a dogfight. There's a ton of competitors. Everybody's trying to get a share of the audience and a share of that wallet. And it's really challenging. But the key point you said there, again, that IP, the content, that's the king. Now let's talk about 2023 for a second and even go a little bit beyond. What would it take for this to be a bull market year and that to drive Disney stock forward? So I think the real key here is if we do see the soft landing with the economy, we do see some economic strength. We see all of the inflationary impacts, rising interest rates, the things that are hurting the consumer. If those concerns have ebbed by the end of the year, the market's probably going to be up. The stock price is probably going to be up on sentiment alone. But the most important thing is that the fundamentals of its business will be better when the consumer is strong. Jeff?
Yeah, I agree that a bull market will probably only happen if the consumer is in a good place. And if the consumer is in a good place, they're going to be going to Disney World. They're going to be paying for their Disney Plus subscriptions. They're going to be buying merchandise. So it's really easy to see a scenario where the two things help each other out.